let's start off. Like, what?
Yeah.
Sure, I guess. Alrighty. Let's start off by saying some sentence, phrase, words.
Well, mine's not a sentence, phrase, or word, but I just want to point out that I felt well. I didn't feel bad, but I got surprised in how they told them, like the people there, like the ones making all this event, how they told the college students that they didn't shoot you because they didn't want you part of the group or whatever.
Yes.
And it was to get them thinking or whatever. And I felt that was pretty rude, but then I mean it had a point to how they were.
Wait, did you agree with what they said? You know how they said like the people that were told that no one chose them ate more? Like I actually thought that they wouldn't eat because they'd feel like sad
They
and
felt
be
left
like
out.
exactly they'd be like I don't want this or whatever.
But,
I don't know.
Well, it's
but
like
sad you
people,
eat food though. Come on.
yeah, but
Well, I
when
don't know.
people are
Depression's
stressed
one.
and depressed,
Ice
they
cream.
eat a lot. Like
I don't know.
when I have a lot of homework, I'll just eat.
You're not
I guess
doing
it's
it.
just
You're
me
not
then.
doing
It
it.
depends.
If I'm
I think
sad,
it
I'm just
depends
like
on who you are.
like forget everything. Just
Most of
yeah.
it ties
Might just be me.
into how you want to, like, because if you're feeling down, it's human nature when you feel down to want to boost yourself back up. So, a lot of people are cookies. So when they're feeling down, when no one would choose them, they would want to boost themselves back up. So,
Okay. I guess it's a personal thing.
yeah.
I'm different. Yeah.
Any other comments on the experiment with the cookies and the college students?
So like I remember reading something. I think my word was behavior moderation. Like it's basically saying that when you're around people, like you just like do some behaviors and moderate like how much of what you do and stuff, and like you watch what you do, and like when you're not around anybody, you like fuck it, and you just don't do anything. And it's like that's an interesting point to bring up, because then like you said like the people who didn't get chosen, they ate a lot more chocolate or whatever, and that I see where that's going.
Yeah, you bring up a good point on what this article is about. When you have, what's the word? When you have urge, or not urge, but like, motivation and stuff, especially when people are around, it's like, it's not that you're trying to impress them, but it's you're trying to, make yourself, feel comfortable, or like, make yourself,
Like you belong.
not you're important,
Like
but
you
should-
belong in society.
like you're
Trying
you're
to
like
fit in
an active
society.
member. You're not just some lazy person that lies around. So that also is it, because ego depletion. Because the task was to taste the cookies, and so if the people were around them and they're like, oh, I want to work with you, and then they started tasting cookies and stuff. Behavior, like it sounds better in my head. Want to do some sentence, phrase, words now? Anyone? Want to start off?
Okay, my laptop.
I don't have the paper, that's my sensors.
That's fine. Do you remember anything, Jack?
I do remember my phrase.
Oh, what was your phrase?
You are an essential character in your life. I mean, I chose that because it just kind of speaks. It's just like saying, you can change your life at any time just by, you control your life, so you can do. It's
Like-
hard. It's just like you can change what you're doing, how you act, and
At any point.
yeah.
And like, what he said, that kind of stood out to me too. Cause then it's like you are the central character in like your life. Like it's about you. You don't have to worry about what other people think about you. Like it's for your benefit, for your gain. Nobody else really cares what you do except for you.
What about, have you guys got to the point where with the judge and like the more glucose he had, the more likely he was to give parole to the prisoners, or what do you think that? Can anyone connect that to anything?
I thought that was weird. Like, I never really understood that part, because I was trying to like read it and I was like glucose. I guess it's just, again, I think it just depends on the person you are, because for me, if I'm like stressed out or something, I just listen to music and I'll be okay. I don't stuff myself with food or anything, But the glucose thing is just probably, he probably has like low sugar I don't know. For blood
It's
pressure.
like people are like in a better mood after they eat or something. Or like
Yeah,
Just
it's also
it's just like
the willpower.
your
Yeah,
mood is
yeah.
different based on like what you
Yeah.
eat. If you eat or not. And it's just
Exactly.
like
I just feel like every individual's different and
Yeah.
it has their own thing that works out for them.
Okay. You have something to work?
Well, the word I picked was volition or whatever that was, because it said that it means that you have like free will. You can pick your decision and your choices. And I thought that was I didn't even know we had to work for that, to have your own free will and stuff. So I thought that was very important to learn, and I kind of learned that yesterday, and it makes sense in how we living and what we learned in with the Alchemist last year with Miss Boley. Kind of fits in with that, like this whole yeah. So yeah.
Okay.
Just
A word I picked was like social exclusion, just because I felt like that was a key on like how most people felt like they felt excluded from the crew or whatever. So.
okay. What about you, Tyvon? Do you have anything you think is interesting?
Well, not really, but I guess one thing, like, it said that we're not really conscious, or like it just kind of happens, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think you guys personally, do you think you could like notice it in your own time with other people and control it? Like,
No, I think we actually look at it differently like later on. and
exactly.
Like, oh.
That's what I.
you look back at it later after it's happening.
Cause yeah,
Yeah,
like
but then like everyone says like I can fake a smile, like people say I fake a smile every day or whatever. Like, do you think that's a part that plays with this? If they notice it,
that they
and
know
then-
they're faking a smile.
huh?
That they know they're faking a smile.
Anything like that? Just like, do they know that they're conscious of it and they're just
Well,
putting on a show?
I think it's also something they say that's just to make themselves feel better. Like, if they're like, I mean, people, like, this is off topic, but people, in America, like, most of them have it better than they think. And so,
Yep.
when they think they're, like, sad, well, they probably are sad, like, when they think their life is the worst, they're gonna be like, oh yeah, I can fake a smile all day and no one really knows. But then, when it comes down to it, since they're saying that they can fake a smile, and since they're saying that they can do all this stuff, which is, trying to mask the fact that they're sad, they're like consciously thinking that they know how to fake a smile. So
Exactly.
it's like they're really knowing.
It's basically more of a self-reflective thing than actually consciously think about it at the moment. A bad self-reflection.
Yeah. Deja, did you have something?
I haven't read it.
Oh,
I only read it.
yeah. That's fine.
Want to raise any
What was I
questions
gonna
that they
say?
made?
Huh?
Well, we were supposed to make questions. Does anyone
Oh yeah.
have
Did anyone
them?
have any questions?
I was gonna ask, like, after you read this, do you have like any personal connections with this? Like, I'm pretty sure you guys felt that. Yeah, like you've been
Think about
excluded in
something
life.
differently.
Well, like I think he's trying to get at is did this article stand out to connect with you more? Like, did you feel that, oh yes, I can, this,
relate.
happens to me. Like, now that I know the proper terms, now that I know what it actually is, this I can say for a fact that happens to me. Like, I know because all of these articles we read, they're like, you're like, oh yeah, oh my gosh, wow, I didn't know that. But like this one in particular, and especially since it was so long, did you guys feel that it was, personal to you more because you can now identify with it?
Yeah.
Yep.
I do.
Dang.
Yep.
It's cause like I know like I don't know, like I think about it, but I don't really know how to put it in words. I don't really know like what I'm feeling or whatever. And then this is just like telling me what I'm feeling. I'm like, yeah, I know exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
Like when you have big problems in your life, sometimes you just crash and don't know what to do about anything. It's like just go with the flow, I guess. But then like now knowing that this like the thinking of that you just failed miserably, it makes me
That's the reason
like
for why
in the
we
future
feel-
once you come across that, it will make you think about what should I do to get this right instead of I feel like crap right now kind of thing.
You think this will change you? Now that you know what it is?
Since it's like, since we didn't know what it really was before we read it, and since of course, it stood out so much for everyone. I think about things on my own time, like things I've learned in school, and like when things are happening to me, you know, like that, just in real life, I'm thinking of those things. But then like when I reflect on the day, I'm like, oh, I can like connect this to the events. So yeah, I think it will change me. I think that I don't know if it'll. I think I can not help other people, but like I think I can, you know, better understand, you know, what everyone's going through and stuff. So
Yeah.
plus there's an actual word, ego depletion. It's pretty cool, like to actually, you know, have a word to identify this. So Kenichi, you haven't said anything. What do you think?
Oh, well, I was just thinking that it didn't give a step-by-step solution to, you know, this problem, but it did help us become more aware of it. And I think that's a small step to the solution. And it's personal for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
I'll second that.
I don't think, like, it didn't give step-by-step solutions, but it did give, like, you know, advice, somewhat, like, yeah, you can do these, you can, like, if you know what it is, then you can, like, not do the things that is what it is. Exactly. That makes sense.
In the end, it said, don't make important decisions on an empty stomach.
Yeah, it says if you want more control over your own mind so that you can alter your responses to the world instead of giving in and doing what comes naturally. Stay fresh, take breaks, get some sleep, and until we understand what ego depletion really is, don't make important decisions on an empty stomach. Mm-hmm. So that's definitely some great advice, especially since it's a problem that's, you know, so big.
I feel like Taylor, like, he's always doing stuff like this. Like, I can see why he gave us this article to read, because, like, when you think about it, he's always telling us about morality, like what's good and bad. And like, he just laid everything in front for us, and he said, you choose. So,
it's
kind
especially since it's been going on. I don't know if you realize it, but since freshman year,
He's been doing that.
Yeah, like the first project. How are you the person who's
Are you the person you say you are?
That's been going on like all year last year, and it is this year too. Because the most recent example is like the smaller examples is just
looking at textbook.
Yeah, well, like the one more recent than that is just doing the sentence phrase words and questions, but then a bigger one is often text.
How would you relate this to them, like directly? Like,
directly?
Make a direct connection to it.
Direct connection.
Or another article that we read.
It's not that they're cowards, but they did veer away from a large task. Mm-hmm. So I mean,
I think what they're doing is larger than what
they felt.
Well, the main, I've talked to them.
What's it called? The self-helpless thing is more. Yeah.
Self-helplessness, but like the biggest thing they saw was a speech at the end. Yeah. Okay. And in the end, we both get the same grade. Like, if we do all the work, we both get an A. Mm-hmm. So I mean, if this
because we're like actually doing more, like they're just doing textbook. They just have to read and write. We have to actually think about like what kind of person we are and like more deeper stuff.
It's kind of like the school system really is kind of making workers, and we're actually thinking and becoming like better people as we're working.
Because like Mr. Taylor told me that he told me that like they're gonna fail because
they are.
Yeah.
Well, because look at them right now.
Yeah.
Exactly.
They have no will to do anything.
How do you know that?
Because when you do stuff, or like he's just gonna take their textbook or take their work, grade it, and give it back to them. No praise or nothing.
Yeah.
And
you're not really learning anything.
Yeah, I mean, like when you get praised, it's human nature to like want to do more and do better. It's addicting to
people like do things for a present or a result, like reward,
like with
for
that,
every reason.
You just sit down and do your work.
To be insulted, they just don't want to do it.
They already got.
This is the only class where you can express yourself, and we don't have any other class like this in the school, so they should take advantage of that.
But what do you think, Rayshawn? What do you think about about you gonna like the article or the connection between the textbook
I'll
and
speak
us?
up so that the
And then you have to write a TLC paragraph using direct quote evidence.
don't know.
How does it fit to your life, you know?
Yeah, you guys can just give it to me.
I mean, of course,
Can he relate to the topic?
willpower, you can relate.
One, it did depict ego in here, so our emotions show out.
No, all of these documents are out. So all the evidence you need is in this. You don't need to like do any of
I think I knew him.
Thanks to the back of the class for staying quiet for our discussion.
We got, I don't have nothing else to say. You guys are good. Sorry that came late.
That's fine. At least you're, listening.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, going back to the textbook, you don't get rewarded for it, so you're not gonna have more motivation. But for this, he's actively, saying, "Oh, tell me what you think. That's really good. I like it." And so, especially with these seminars, like, I'm sure
It's taking us
Have
one
you
step
noticed
further.
also how, like, after every project he says thanks guys or whatever, like,
yeah.
do you think
Thanks, gang.
Do you think he really means it, or is it just motivation to work? That's the one thing I've always wondered, because he's always like praising us, like, or whatever.
The reason, so, he didn't come, or no, he came back this year for us.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm pretty sure he's,
Actually,
I feel like he sees something in us and he wants to push us to the next level.
Yeah.
do you think for every one of us?
Yeah,
he selected,
I mean, he wants
he
to-
approved every one of us.
It's
But-
just he put the
He's
plan
trying to
on
find
the
the
table. You
potential
either
in
take it or you
everyone.
leave.
Yeah, it's like going back. He's trying to, the main goal is for him to make like last year when we were doing the speeches at the end of the year, and then we all when school was over, but then we still stayed. That's what he was going for. He wants us to be able to care about each other, to be able to rely and bond with each other good enough so that we can actually make it in the real world and have people around us that will help. Because he's always saying, don't be afraid to ask, ask for help. And, if you ask, I'll help you. So, and most people's problem is they won't ask for help.
Yeah.
Taylor might look intimidating, but when you actually talk to him,
Exactly.
it's gonna
He just. Why do you think he acts? Well,
Why
if it
do you
isn't
He
act.
acts mean.
Well, why do you think he does that?
Or presents himself as mean and stuff. He says fear is a great motivator, and that is true.
It is.
Textbook examples.
Yeah.
Huge
And
example.
people like proving themselves to people sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It helps
Exactly.
as a motivator too.
What do you think his true personality is? No,
I have no
you don't
idea.
answer that.
That's hard.
As a father, of course. I mean, I'm sure he's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a nerd. I mean.
I think he's going to Comic-Con in a few weeks or something.
That's so nerdy.
I feel like Taylor, he'll always keep it 100 with you. If he sees you doing something wrong, he'll tell you straight up. If he sees you doing something right, he'll just tell you. And the point of that is to change yourself, or
But it's
help
also-
on doing good, or whatever.
It ties in.
But also, he sometimes lets you make your own decisions so that you can learn from it. So even if you're making a bad decision, he might look and see that you're doing it, but he wants you to. But
He's
he
gonna
wants
tell you you're
That's
doing
why he
something
gives us
wrong.
extra
He'll be
time if we ask.
Aaron, he's like, hey, you guys need to tell Aaron he needs to come to school and blah 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 or whatever.
Yeah.
He actually does care. And the way he shows
Oh,
it,
yes, he
it's
does.
different for every
And
person.
actually, I think that's this whole point of giving us this whole week to just read about these kinds of stuff, because it's not really related to anything that we're studying right now. We're studying about socialism, and how can we connect this specifically, straight up?
To socialism?
Unlike the first reading that we had, it's directly connecting, but this one is kind of a harder connection. But I think he's
Yeah, it is more personal.
change-driven kind of thing.
This is a change project.
Wait, we're reading about W.E. Du Bois and Booker T. Washington, and
Yeah.
I think we might be able to connect willpower to that because,
The choices between following.
or the choices between the two individuals.
Exactly.
Maybe
He wanted to make work. One of them wanted to make workers. One of them wanted to make
activists.
yeah.
And so I think Booker T was the one that wasn't as aggressive.
Yeah,
right?
he wasn't.
Yeah, so I think he might have had more
Reminds me
willpower
of textbook, you know that?
or hindsight.
Booker T. Washington believes in working hard and stuff, and make sure you live to the level of the white man. You know what I'm saying? And then W.E. Du Bois believe in you actually go out and go talk. And I think this group is a W.E.B. Du Bois because we're trying to teach
Them.
how to be.
Are you
But
think
it's
we're their
interesting.
motivators, or what are we to them?
Well,
I'm supposed to be the 10%, I think.
Are we the 10th?
Classmates.
well, I mean,
Would you say we're
like
the 10th?
he gave Jackie D the power for us,
Yeah.
and none of us have had any problems.
Yeah.
He gave Thomas the power for them,
And
Thomas already gave 600 extra words.
600
Or
or
60?
180.
180.
180.
180.
One this
You better go,
60
Thomas.
words
Oh,
every
60
time.
words. My bad. But yeah, you understand. It's like we haven't had that many problems today, other than shh, please be quiet.
Yeah.
So it's like I do believe that if they see us do good and they realize that it is possible and it's not that hard,
Then they will do this.
then they will do it.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying they're doing bad. It's just do more, do
They probably
better,
think we're all crazy
step up to
because we're all
challenges. Face your fears, which is why most of them didn't pick this book change book because they didn't want to do the essay or they didn't want to do the speech. They're like, oh no, I
They just
can't.
need
talk.
stronger
You're gonna have to talk regardless. You're
I
gonna
mean,
get
yeah.
a job or something. You're gonna have
Yeah,
to
I
talk.
mean, yeah, like you said, you're gonna get a job. It's like, I think, even if you did terrible, if you chose
just
this
can't
group,
avoid it anymore.
yeah, if you chose this group and you did terrible, and your speech was terrible, Taylor wouldn't care. He would be like, "Thanks
still
for choosing
changing
this
the
group.
person.
'Cause
You
you gotta-
stepped up to the plate. You
Yeah.
did what
What he asked.
Yeah.
He
You have
tried.
to learn how to fail
have
first,
to-
and then that's how you get
Exactly.
better. Because he taught us that too. You have to learn how
did.
to fail.
Kind of
See, look at this.
what
He's
they
tying
want.
it in with everything.
Exactly. And then, like for the last project, the video, how he put zeros.
Yeah.
That was like one of the motivators to actually get it done.
Oh yeah, yeah. Because like he said when he put the zeros in,
Yeah.
within like 10 minutes, parents were emailing him. You have something to say, Frida?
Yeah, so like that's I think you said guys or something.
I know I heard you.
Yeah, like he did like all zero like 4 days before the semester was over. So like I mean, there's just no way that you can't like not do this.
Yeah.
So I guess that's just like half of the school.
He's showing us what would happen if we didn't, or like
Yeah.
didn't put in effort.
And then also, when he shows us what would happen, that also ties into our willpower. Because like it's saying, oh, you have this iPad and all those social
Yeah.
notifications,
You have a
and,
choice.
and Reddit and everything.
Yeah.
And when you see, like I think a big part of what he did with putting the zeros is he allowed us to see the future, the
Exactly.
the reality.
What would happen?
Yeah,
What would
what would
happen? And
happen.
it's like, oh, it's not just something that could happen. I'll just wait.
It will happen.
This is going to happen.
Yeah.
It's
the
going
work.
on right now.
Yeah, and so I think because like most of us really did get it done. Like even I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, no
who
one
didn't get
who
it
didn't.
Even like doing it late,
Like
when he extended it like
Yeah.
a week,
and then a lot of
another
people use
day,
that week too.
couple days, yeah.
And so I feel that that just it ties in really well.
Like once we all saw the end project and how it's gonna play out in the end, we kind of wanted to change our future. So
Yeah.
we all.
What about you, Cindy? What about you? Do you feel that this ties in to projects we've had, projects now?
Yeah. I think
You're listening, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyone have any other questions or comments to add, Rukia?
Well, I guess I'll just go back to the reading. So I guess the readings are supposed to change us so that we can help change them and other people around us, and then maybe later we can change like our society that we live in.
You start small.
Because
Yeah.
like it's always
Go
like
beyond that.
it's always like the ripple effect. When you throw a rock into the pond and it
ripples.
goes out.
It's the ripple effect.
Yeah. So like
It'll happen.
Also, when he was teaching us last year, he was like, if your peers see you do good and want to do good, they'll want to do good too. So it starts with one. It starts with of course Taylor tells us what to do, but like one person usually does good, which was like Tyvon and Kit and Coy and them. Then we saw that, and so we're like, oh hey, we can actually do this. So like we did it and it extended outwards, like Dakota and like Thomas and Ramsey and Kent, and then Kent this year Kent's really good. He's doing a lot better. And so like it just, I feel like it keeps on,
Just keep going.
Yeah, it keeps
It's what you
going.
look up to, in a way.
Yeah. And so it's like all of us now are.
He's practicing the temple to death.
That's
In a way, but it was kind of just played out that way because like he didn't like we all came up as freshmen. He didn't know which ones were going to be the.
That's why he needed really weird stuff.
It was predetermined.
It was.
This guy's good, man.
This guy's all good.
It ties into like a big thing is like philosophy and psychology combined. It's like philosophy is why do you think humans are like this? Like some good reasons, and then psychology is like the actual way people think. So when you tie those two together, it's like it connects to a lot, but also it can contradict a lot.
Yeah.
But then it's like philosophy is very dangerous because you can interpret it as anything you want. But then on some level, people have the same interpretations of one philosophy. Like, someone give me an example.
Karl Marx.
Philosophy of the
Well, it's like, how about the bystander effect? When,
yeah.
But anyways, so it's like, are we going on too long? We also have Malcolm X reading. How about
We
you,
can
Asha?
always do that.
But the seminar is like.
I said something.
Well, like I haven't, you usually like all up in this and
yesterday you were like,
yeah, what's going on?
Yeah,
You agree with everything?
he'd rather
Do I
have.
agree with everything?
Yeah.
Yes, I do. And I can relate to a lot of the situations and
Can you give us an example?
Oh, well, the eating the cookies thing. Like I said, I eat a lot when I get my feelings hurt and stuff.
Like when you're stressed?
Yeah.
I do the same thing.
Food is a great elixir.
That was the best seminar.
Like,
That's one you read?
Yeah. I like this article. I mean,
It was super long.
Although it was like a very daunting task, we did get it done, and in the end, I don't know if anyone regrets reading. Does anyone regret reading this?
I mean, you can't really regret it.
Oh, yeah,
Our conversation? Yeah.
But one of the biggest things that drives me in life is that if you want something, you're gonna work hard to accomplish it. So like, I'm not really scared of like pushing myself farther because of that reason. But like, I mean, you really don't find your limits unless you try to push yourself harder, and like, it's just gonna.
You don't know like your full potential unless you
like
push yourself.
a lot of times we put limits on ourselves on what we think we can or cannot do, but it's only when we do the things we don't want to do or when we do the things that we think we can is when we actually find out that, oh hey, we're not just me, but like I see this person over here,
Exactly.
pushing their limits
You
too.
can push yourself.
We can
further
all
than
do it.
that.
So it's like
You can do it.
Just kind of a domino
Yeah,
effect.
I think
Like if I push
that also-
myself,
Exactly.
it'll push
Push your
you.
growing edges.
I think it connects like the pushing limits thing.
Yeah.
I think it also connects to the textbook and book change group. Like, they're
Oh,
like-
they didn't think that
Yeah.
they could own up to this.
Yeah, and when they see us doing this, they're like,
Yeah, I should have been. I've been
Yeah, we
talking.
could've
like
done it.
Imani switched because
She knew.
yeah, she knew she can do it.
Like that stuff was too easy.
Well, it's,
It was like
I don't know
ridiculous.
what
it's
she
just
is, but
ridiculous
it's
work.
like
Yeah.
yeah. So also, oh my gosh, it ties into everything.
It's
Ties
pretty
into
crazy.
the bystander.
Taylor is an amazing person.
I mean, he won't
Too
teach
bad
us
he won't
this
be here
unless
next
he
year.
thinks that.
Yeah,
reason.
he's not gonna be.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
You're changing schools.
Yeah, after this, I think he's gonna leave it up to us to pick what we're gonna do next.
Asha, do you have anything to add about
Oh,
that?
Why
do
did
you
you
know
keep
what I'm
saying
gonna say?
I think I do. Would you like to say it?
Wait. What?
Ramsey said, "Oh, he's gonna leave it up to us next year too."
Yeah. Well, I was thinking about leaving this school next year because there's nothing here. There's not enough creativity and stuff. And I talked to Taylor, and I was doing pretty bad with my grade in this class, and I promised him that I would stay here next year and try to recruit other kids in this class to do better and be a good example for next year, and take with us what we learned with Taylor and use it in different kinds of situations, and yeah.
And also hold, keep the, high standards of what teaching is supposed to be. And
Yeah.
yeah. So I feel that. Oh, hey, Mr. Harding.
Why do you think he keeps saying that he's leaving the school?
Because he's leaving the
Because he
school.
does not like the school.
Oh, why do I think he's leaving?
Yeah.
That's echo.
No,
not getting that good.
It's unorganized. It's getting bad again. Like the freshmen are crazy.
Yeah,
It's just
true.
not.
Like if you, the cons really do outweigh the pros. We're
Yeah.
losing
There
our
really
funding.
is no
Funding
discipline
is
policy
gone, dude.
because
Yeah.
I've gotten in trouble like recently, and all they did was call my mom, and what's that gonna do?
Don't even follow the SOA discipline.
Yeah. I think it's like gone now.
Honestly, the SOA discipline policy was really what
We're
kept
looking
the
like
school.
souls now.
It's not even being upheld.
Especially SOED.
It doesn't-
SOED
Yeah.
had nothing.
They had nothing
So
else.
Miss
Great
Milligan at the
last
end of last year, she was like, oh, we only had 3 fights this semester.
Only?
SOED had 0 fights.
Exactly.
Hey, and like Miss Sharif is leaving and stuff, and it's
Yeah,
just,
it's
gonna
just-
be weird.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be.
Yeah.
And the teachers are kind of like Miss Milligan. She shouldn't be talking to the students like that. I understand she's adult and she's higher up, but some of these teachers are not allowed to talk to us like that. We should.
There should be some type of
I mean, if
respect
they-
between teachers and
Yeah,
students
especially, like-
mutually.
This school is trying to teach us for adult life.
Yeah.
And then like, how are you going to how are you
You have to
gonna
have a good example.
yeah
push
how are you
us
gonna
down.
treat us like that?
Yeah.
And you're trying to teach us about adult life, like treat us mutually, and we'll do it back. None of us are trying to like fight you, or none of us are trying to
Certain
graffiti the
people might be
walls or
trying to
anything.
fight them,
know
but
what's
Maybe.
Maybe.
individuals.
But like for the mass of us.
Yeah. And so I feel that if we can hold truth to what teaching is supposed to be about, what we're supposed to be learning, what teachers are supposed to do, I feel that we can definitely. I'm not trying to say change the school, but we can definitely.
Have an impact.
we can
Of
change
course
it.
we can.
Well,
I
ripple
mean,
effects
that's
is
kind
I mean,
of,
we
that's
can-
kind of a big
We
thing.
can try to do this conversation with like teachers to see if they understand. I mean, with like the staff to see if they understand.
Where we're coming from?
I think
Yeah.
the staff even like to. So.
I'm pretty sure if we came to Dr. Reed or talked to one of them, they would understand.
Yeah,
we
Dr.
were all-
You should show
But it
them.
would just be
You
for
should
us.
send them this recording.
You should, because they need to understand that there is a possibility of all the students, being capable of what we have.
I mean, there's no, like, we're not limited.
Yeah.
Or like, yeah, we're not limited. We can.
Exactly.
It's
Nothing holding us back.
It's just the choices you make.
There's
Again,
no
willpower.
motivation.
Oh my God, another connection. Oh.
We need the willpower and the motivation to like
Thomas.
Yeah,
go
it's
do
like
this.
we need. Yeah, it's like what Tyvon said. What we need is the motivation and the willpower. Because like, based on most of the people who go here, they're mostly African Americans, Africans, and low-income families. So, like, I think that's a big part of the background that we're all in. That we all should be, let's say, like taking over of, because we're supposed to be like developing ourselves and preparing ourselves for like bigger lives.
That's another thing, like the motivation thing. This school is a choice. Like you could take to come here, but like a lot of the population here came for the people, not rather than the school. And like the school kind of like failed at like motivating the kids to actually do what they should have come here for.
Yeah, it was like
they're
Cleveland,
big.
oh my gosh, engineering, blah, blah, blah.
They're
the
like,
engineering
No one
class,
cares
not
about
even
that.
Yeah, it's
most
not even
most
that.
of the people don't care about that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
when you
like,
get
that's
here,
why
it's like,
That's why I came.
me
For
personally,
yeah.
I came because my parents,
Wanted you to.
we made you.
they made me.
Yeah.
I was fine going to Franklin.
That was a
It's-
deal to me.
It was a somewhat hard commute, but it is still my area school. And then I am actually glad I came to Cleveland. I would not have ever learned this.
At all, Franklin.
Yeah, no, I
at
never.
Franklin. Yeah, like
Knowing what they like. Yeah.
I don't know firsthand if there's a class like this. I'm pretty sure there's not.
I don't think
I'm pretty
so.
sure there's no world history teacher that
It's like a
also
one in a
preaches
million
philosophy.
teacher.
I feel like I would end up like a
Man, Taylor is like a philosopher
Slash
though.
world history
Well,
teacher.
it's crazy.
Used to get
The
correction
Aristotle
officer
Yeah.
after all, so-
Yeah. So he, I mean, he.
I'm pretty sure you can
Taylor-
see a lot of correction officers at Franklin. But yeah, so what school life will be like next year, no one knows. But
Yeah.
if
It's
anyone,
up to us to change it.
are you all coming back next year?
I'm coming.
I am.
I am.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm staying here all 4 years, buddy.
I have an apartment.
Unless yeah.
I think I know the reason why he put me, Jack, and Frida on the spot of taking over like decisions in the class. It's I think because we can't stand up and tell people in the face that you're doing something wrong, you need to do this instead.
I think
Frida can.
Frida
She
was like the
things that are your
second because
friends, right?
Thomas, like
No,
Frida was like a hesitant.
No, like,
choice.
here's the thing. Like, I have no problem, like, I'll say it to anybody, I'll say shut the fuck up, and I won't like, I don't care, but I just don't want to. I don't want to talk to people like that.
Yeah,
I don't have
Because
to
you know,
be-
to me, if I like, it's a waste of my time. You know, it's like you
I don't
gotta.
want to boss people around. I don't
Do you
wanna
not
talk
want the
to people.
retaliation? Like, oh man, I these people, oh man, they're my friends. They're not
I
gonna
don't
like me.
care.
You
But
don't care?
I just don't want to be responsible.
You just don't want to
for
be
other
rude.
people.
There you
I don't
go.
want to. Yeah, I don't want to be responsible for.
You said that.
Because
You don't want to be responsible for other people's
We're all
actions.
teenagers, you know. We're all grown adults. We should know when to be quiet. Not.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah,
that's
you should
another
learn that.
like
Taylor always says,
elementary.
he says, make your classmates accountable, and I don't want to have to do that, but I guess
I mean,
you kind of have to. But
yeah.
It's like they're
It's a
kids.
disciplinary thing.
Watching,
for
yeah.
them.
We're watching kids here, man.
And
I mean,
it's really bad. I
now
feel
that
like.
we, oh yeah, go ahead. Okay, I was gonna say now that we can actually see everything and like have an active discussion about it, like, do you feel that in any way this will change your outlook on this class and your outlook on helping people? Like now that we, cause like me, I thought I was the only one and a few others like Taylor and like I think Ramsey and then Asha and them, but like I thought I was the only one that knew like what was really going on and what he really wanted, like. But now that you guys
I feel like
have all heard and stuff, and like have all had your voices heard and had your comments heard, like do you feel that like we can trust each other more and now we can like be able to, you know, do bigger things because we all are on the same page with this? Do you feel that way?
Probably. Yeah.
I already knew that because there's no excuses, man.
Yeah.
We're more conscious of it and we'll like want to make a change with it.
It's like when you make a decision, you kind of go back to your thought about this lesson and what you learned and how to apply it to your everyday life.
I mean, yeah, and there's no reason to forget this conversation because we have it recorded. And there's also if we, you know, there's also no reason because it's a good conversation. I feel that it was a good discussion.
Yeah.
Like, for being student-led, I'm not saying I'm fully responsible. I'm not saying I'm fully responsible, but yeah, we all have part.
all did though.
And have like all of our voices heard, and like I think because like you know how Taylor, when we do a big circle Socratic Seminar,
Yeah.
it's quiet and he
Exactly.
like has to pick on people and like write down. You have to. Most people are just talking to get their point.
Not true.
Yeah.
We don't have quiet Socratic seminars.
Well, no,
that's,
like
there's only like 5 people who talk most of the time.
because there's
yeah.
mostly 5 people who like continually talk.
I personally think like smaller circles, more TSB, more voices heard,
But
and
honestly,
more
we're
chances
honestly
to
the
speak.
people that talk because in the textbook over there, who else really kind of participates in this Socratic Seminar?
Well, I mean, like, you can't really say that. I mean, like, some of us don't talk at all.
Yeah.
Some of us don't talk at all.
Yeah, some
Okay.
of us.
Like although those people might not, you know, talk a lot, or in Aaron's case, he does talk a lot.
Yeah.
But they do give, you know, their genuine thoughts and good, you know, opinions. So it's not fair to say that, you know,
You can't leave
they're-
them out, you know.
You can't leave them out. You can't
Yeah.
put them down. But in all honesty.
Everyone's a part of this.
Yeah.
Huh?
Everyone's a big part of this. We're all in
Yeah.
this together.
I
don't know why I just said that.
No, like I feel weird.
Anybody think High School Musical said that? Okay. Okay.
Like, we couldn't have great parts of this conversation if the textbook wasn't there.
Yeah.
But also, if these people, select people, weren't here either, I don't think we could have heard as much as we did. Like, not even if anyone, you know, not even if people in this group talk that much.
Like everything
Guadalupe and me.
happens for a reason. Guadalupe hasn't said enough.
Like it's still good to have people hear this. Like even if you don't say that much, it's still good to have people hear this. Yeah.
Hey.
I think if we spread
Yeah, 'cause
this
some people-
audio around, like, people will realize things about us too.
And like, no, spread it around, like edit it and
Run
then
it on-
put like
run it on the
inspiring
PAs.
music. Just dun dun dun.
We're gonna watch Farida. She was like opening that.
Can somebody tell textbook to be quiet?
Textbook, please be quiet.
Isn't that like the 5th time?
Put your phone away, Yolanda.
Yeah, we should.
Thomas. She has her phone now.
A lot of people have their phone out right now.
Like, I want to bring up the point of, like, I remember Taylor was, like, he was differentiating between, like, choices and decisions, or, like, or actions and, like, decisions or whatever, or, like, something like that. And, like, one is where you actually do stuff, and one is where you, like, let stuff happen to you. Like, you just allow it to happen. Like, you have a choice of saying no, but you just, like, kind of let it happen to you. I feel like if you let things happen to you and just like kind of go with it and just like not
Learn
say
helplessness.
no, not try to like fight back and stuff. Like,
You just lose
stay
control for yourself, you know. It's like you're just there.
Exactly. I feel like a lot of people do that, like in school too. Like they're just like, oh, I feel like I did something this Sunday. Oh, well,
I'm just not gonna continue.
oh, well, I can't do the next one because the next one is based off of this one. So I'm not gonna do this one. I'm not gonna do the next one. I'm just gonna take it for like the whole semester or whatever. And it's like it's more real than that. Like it is personal and stuff.
But the funny thing is, you know how he said for the test we can't turn it in, you know, after. But you know how you know still people do it anyways, even though they don't listen to them?
Yeah.
You know why he accepts it? Because he knows you guys that
If you're doing it beyond the deadline, he knows that you really want it.
you really want that grade, you know, he'll give it to you if you actually try. He has to see that you struggle, because part of life is to struggle, and if you don't know how to struggle, because college is never going to be like what we have right now, because I learned that yesterday, and they're not going to be like, oh, you can turn it in, so they're going to be like, oh, no, that's, you can't turn it in.
Yeah,
you know?
they won't care.
They don't care.
It's on their terms. We're going to them for learning. This is provided to us for free. This is public education. We're going to, you know, most of us, you know, we have to pay to get into college. We want to be there. So if we want to be there, we have to act like we want to be there. We can't be slacking off. We can't be turning in things whenever. And, you know, if you want to work towards your goals in life, you have to, you know, be proactive and keep doing it. You can't just take, you know, the night off. I mean, you can if you're like overwhelmed, or you can if you have no work, but you can't just, you know, say, oh, I'll just do it in the morning. Or you have to know, you have to do it right then and there, because you have so much work. And it's true in life. You can't just, like, let's say you have to go grocery shopping, and then like your dog is hungry, and then your mom is like wanting, you know, more purified water for, you know, for her food or something. I don't know. You get what I'm saying? But I'm saying you have to go then, like, and then at the same time your favorite TV show's on and you don't have DirecTV, so you can't record it, and then you don't know when it'll be on again. She's like, oh man, it's my favorite. But no, I have to go. I have to do this. This is my responsibility. Yeah. So it's like,
exactly. I think prioritizing is another thing people need to work on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we could show that too.
And honestly, over the summer, I went to this thing, and it was a really intense college kind of course thing. And honestly, I learned that it's better to get it over with now than to do it
Always
later.
like that.
Like later. Like you could have done your best if you would have done it right then and there, but you procrastinated about it, and then you just didn't have enough time to get it done, and then it never got done.
Yeah.
So you always do a thing a week before, you know, anything, you know.
Yeah.
You can't just, well, I'm going to do it the next day.
My
the day
dad's always
before.
telling
Yeah.
Like prioritizing is a big part of college.
The showcase last year, Ramsey, it almost didn't happen because Bati and I kind of just slacked off on planning. So that's a direct like connection to what can happen.
I bet you had like months to plan.
You guys did.
Yeah.
Yep, that's like
I didn't prioritize that time.
What he gave us over the summer. We all didn't do it until the freaking last week.
The first week is over.
Hey, I did the math. I did the math in like the first week.
Gotta get this done, son.
Like I had the thing to like, you know.
I just had problems finding books.
I waited to the last minute.
Oh man.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
He didn't grade that. We didn't.
I know he didn't grade that. Well, I
Yeah, he did.
He did. He didn't grade it for
He
me.
knew we weren't gonna do it.
No, he gave us a week in school to do it.
Yeah, like
That's why.
because like he emailed me on the last week of summer. He's like, no, I emailed him because we were talking about Batman: The Dark Knight Rises.
Oh, God.
Yeah, man,
Okay.
it was really good. Anyway, so we were talking about that, and he's like, oh yeah, be sure to spread the word. Bring your stuff on
Eagle
first
Day.
day of school, or Eagle Day. Well, bring your stuff,
Eagle Day.
have it done. And so when we came to school, like the second week of school, or the first full week, he was like, how many of you, did this when Sam sent out the message, and everyone was like, oh.
He didn't believe me that I did it the first week of school.
Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure. I mean, like the first week of summer, like nothing's really happening.
Yeah, exactly.
Even if you're
Whoa.
saying,
First week of summer is crack a walking.
well, like for most people, you're still getting out of the school groove and like planning with people because most people don't have things planned.
The first week of summer.
Yeah, but I know I sleep in like the first week of summer or like first week of break. I sleep in every single day. I do whatever I want.
I mean, we deserve
I wake up at 8
it.
and go to the beach and then stay there till like 7.
You guys are all so lucky, man. I couldn't do that.
That was really good.
Yeah, I feel that this was a good seminar. A lot of input, a lot of original ideas, a lot of connections we made.
Yeah.
That's the part of what he wants us to learn.
Yeah.
There's so many realizations we just went through about what he made us do.
Yeah, and I'm sure if you talk to him more and if you tell him how it really is and tell him what you really know and what you feel, then of course he's gonna
It's still going. It's still going.
I'm gonna say
How
I
long
think I
has it
didn't see
been?
that.
It's been about 45 minutes.
No, it's great. You guys are doing a great job. But you can wrap it up now so you have time to do your
let's
reading.
do that now.
You guys did a great job. Taylor will be impressed.
Do you
so.
think we did a good reading or a good seminar?
Yeah, I think you guys did great.
Thanks, Taylor.
All right, so finishing up words.
See you next week.
Bye, Tay.
Finishing words. Do you guys, yes or no, was this a good seminar?
Yes.
Very
Was it the
good.
best seminar?
Probably.
One of the best, I think.
Was it the most connective seminar? And
It's
you
the one that
feel-
make me thought the most.
Yeah,
Yeah.
did it make you think a lot?
Oh, yeah.
And did it make you, or do you feel that you'll remember this?
Yeah.
Would you guys all like the audio recording?
No.
Why not?
Why not?
Because he has to use it.
Like, I mean, there's a thing called copy and
Yeah, I know.
Nah, I'm straight. Whatever's in my
Aren't you
head.
guys gonna send it to him?
Yeah. Well, I'll send it to him right now.
That's fine. Most
It's
people
gonna be on
don't.
the PA.
Anyway, so
I mean, you can just blast
that was
it.
a good seminar on Thursday, February 21st.
47 minutes.
Yep. 47.
All right.
Bye, Taylor.
Bye, Taylor.